And good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Part of the Pride Aston Villa Women podcast. And we can't quite believe we're sitting here saying we're back to back to back winners, triple wins in a row. And what a way to kind of, if we could just end the season now on a high, that would be phenomenal. At Villa Park last night, a proper ding-dong, if you will, beating Arsenal for the first time ever at home, 5-2. Now, we promise we're not making it up. It genuinely happened. A lot of us are still in disbelief across social media. And yeah, we just can't wait to talk about it because what a night. How are we all doing? Are we over it yet? Can we believe it?
No. I keep remembering like at random points during the day. I'm just like, oh yeah, we did that.
Look at us beating the Champions League finalists. There's some very unhappy bunnies across social media.
Last night I was driving off from Poole. I got caught in work late. Knew I had no chance of getting to the game, but I had it on my phone while I was driving up the road, just checking the score constantly. And I kept pinching myself, like, say whatever I was saying that it was 2-0 at half time. And I just see it's 4-0, and I'm like, this can't be happening, you know. And despite knowing the score and watching the game this morning, I was still waiting on a different result.
And that's the thing. Anytime we've gone ahead, as the commentator repeatedly reminded us throughout the match, well, Villa have lost the most points from a winning team. It's like, all right, we know, we've lived it. But every time another goal was added, you just thought, is that all real? Like, is this actually happening? Because we looked like a completely different team, didn't we? So, Nick, I'll start with you. Do you generally think we were able to put that performance in? Yes, Arsenal were a bit tired, but because we knew we had that safety and we could play with that freedom. Do you think that played a part?
I think so, yeah. I think the absolute kind of joy that radiated around the team when Crystal Palace lost to Chelsea and we were guaranteed to stay up, it just meant that they could play football that they enjoyed again without all the negative thoughts and everything about relegation gone. And they're clearly getting on well with Natalia. I just think they just thought, you know what, we can play the game we want to play now without worrying too much. And I think everyone put their heart and soul into it, and they just all looked like they were loving life yesterday.
Yeah, and what a moment to actually watch the team that we knew was there, hidden very, very deep down through everything they've gone through over the past season and a half. And you just think that's the Villa that we keep seeing and we keep supporting. Because Emily, when the lineup came out and we kind of went, Patsy, where are you? Against Arsenal, where, was there a moment of panic there? Obviously not knowing the score.
I don't think so. I mean, I kind of went into the game not expecting much in the first place.
I mean, yeah.
And then I was a little bit confused by the lineup because we had an injury report for once in the week. And then once the lineup came out, there were even more injuries on top of that, and a bonus appearance from Sarah Mailing, who was on the bench.
Yeah,
was good. And Corsie was back in the Matchday squad, which was really good to see. And it was really good to see how happy everyone was for her as well, like the team and stuff. I've forgotten where I was going with that.
Confused.
Injuries lineup, yeah. The big thing on the lineup, I suppose, was, which I didn't realise until we actually kicked off, that was actually happening, was Miri at centre-back, because we were so depleted in the back line with Lucy Parker and Patsy being injured. And then obviously Corsie's not ready to come back into it yet, from the start. So
I do have to say, though, we were going to talk about players of the match in a minute, which, was hard to choose from, which was fantastic. But Gary, that was probably Miri's best game, I think, or at least definitely up there.
Usually whenever you see Miri in midfield, you know she's in midfield. She's always kicking somebody or whatever. But see, last night where she was in centre-back, she just went around things quietly. She was cleaning up and actually had a really, really fantastic game. Well, the team had a fantastic game, but yeah, it's definitely one of Mary's best performances for us, and she's never been afraid of it in the shift.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And it just seemed a bit more like her confidence there. The whole team's confidence was there, but she herself felt like she was more confident on the ball and she was more confident in that role. So it just shows you what a little bit of confidence and safety can do for a team. So coming back to player of the match then, or players of the match, Kirsty got the official one, didn't she, from Sky? But yeah, who would like to say their player of the match first? Because it was hard, but has anyone got a standout that they want to shout out?
I
Mary.
struggle between Chas and Sabs.
Oh, well, okay. That was my fault. I opened the floor to everyone. Everyone spoke at once. Yeah, so Emma, was that you and Nick? Yeah, Emma, go on then. Who do you think?
I said Miri purely because for someone who's not actually like trained in the centre back area.
The centre back
No,
area,
I haven't
yes.
lost you. In the area, she did so well. Like so much always there. Like I just think she put in like a shift and a half. Like yeah, she just did really well.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Nick, who were you going to say?
I said I struggled between Sabs and Chas for obviously complete opposite sides of the game. Sabs saved our backsides. Essentially, probably that double save is what gave us our first goal, was what gave us our momentum. And Chas had possibly the most intelligent game I've seen her play. She was everywhere she needed to be.
And so incredibly quick. Her and Ebony together were just insane. Emily, what about you?
Yeah, well, all of the people we've said, really. I think it was good to see. I just watched the highlights back just before we came on, and it was really good. There was I think it was when we were already 2-0 up, maybe. No, wait. It must have been 3-0. I don't know what the scoreline was. We were already leading.
Goals. Yeah.
And she made that like low save in the bottom right corner. And just like the way all the team went round, and she just looked so happy again. And all the team were like proper congratulating her for it. And that, I don't know. I think she had a really good game, and it was so good to see her be confident again. Having said all that, I did vote for Chastity on the online thing. But like Nick said, I think she was already one of our like shouts for player of the match. And then she scored 2 goals on top of that. So, yeah.
Yeah. And you just like, and this is incredible to have so much choice for player of the match. Fantastic. Gary, what about you? Who are you going for definite?
It's really hard to argue with all the other opinions that have been, because like everybody was outstanding.
Yeah.
But the way we spoke about how Mary went about her business quietly and efficiently.
Yeah.
Missy Bo.
I was just gonna say that.
Again, just went about things quietly, efficiently, no big shouting, made some fantastic passes. She was always there at the back, providing the defensive as well. And I think Missy Bo was another one of those players that maybe went under the radar because she didn't hit the net. But, you know, again, she was another player that put in a shift and a half, to quote Emma.
Yeah.
I also think that's the best game Rachel's had in a long time as well.
Yes.
Like, fairly recently, she's been. You can see how much she wants it, and it just doesn't quite come off. And the touch has been heavy, or the pass has just been to, like, way past whoever it was meant to be going to.
Yeah, just something hasn't been right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the passion translated last night into it working with everyone else, because everyone was on the same page.
Yeah, no, 100%. And we, so I put on social media, kind of everyone to get their one-word match reactions. I did do it first before the official did it. 3 hours before they did it. And, you know, Matt said clinical, Kelly said proud. I think our word was stunning. Emma, you said massive, which has translated into the topical tags for this evening. Did anyone else have a word that you just thought sums up that game before we get into it?
I'll behave.
Yes, because you didn't on Instagram, and I had to send it. Send you a reminder.
Although, while we were talking about having rates having a cracking game as well,
Mm.
see whenever she scored, how happy that everybody in the team, she just lay on the ground in disbelief that she'd hit the back of the net. And the rest of the team more or less just came and jumped on her. They could have been happier for her. And that, I think that just summed up the love that's in the squad right now.
Yeah. And we all kind of said when Natalia came in, you know, she's got such a mountain to climb. She's got such a job to do, where the team were mentally, emotionally, you know, physically in the league. And I have to say, whatever she's doing, it's paying off, because what a turnaround. So let's get into it, shall we? Emily, you've just mentioned that double save, because this was in the 30th minute, wasn't it? Do you want to take us through that save, and then ultimately what Sabs and Jordan combined to do?
Yeah, so we'd already put quite a bit of pressure on Arsenal in like the opening 20 minutes.
Can we just take a moment for that? We put pressure on Arsenal. But yeah, no, it was good, wasn't it? The opening 20 minutes.
To the point where Zinsberger did sort of a tactical sit down.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
After we were all down that end, and then they were like, "Oh dear, go have a little team talk."
She was injured after 20 minutes.
Well, yeah, obviously.
It was hot, you know. She needed.
It was really hot.
Yeah, long sleeves. You know, it's a lot.
But yeah, so it was a moment where it could have been classic Villa. So we'd played really well for the opening part of the game, and then the opposition goes down the other end, and usually we would just, you know, fall apart a bit and then completely change the way we were playing, and it would all go wrong. Yeah. But so Chloe Kelly put a ball in or across, I'm not sure. It was a little bit of ping pong, but it was like close range, couple of shots at Sabs, and she sort of did a starfish double save. And then we played the ball out quickly, which makes a change. I'm not sure who did that initial pass out to Ebony, or whether she just ran out with it. I'm not sure.
Was it Cat?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, because we were on the same side, weren't they? And then she sprinted off down the pitch with it, like turned the rockets on again, a bit like she did against Spurs the other week.
Honestly, when she does it, like Georgie said a few times, she went, "Is Ebony that quick?" And I was like, "Yes, she is. She just needs to remember to do it."
She managed to like wrong foot. I think it was Catley, was it, who fell over sort of as she ran past her? I'm not sure. And the other good thing is, rather than it just being like a solo, off I go and I'm going to have a shot, but I've been forced wide, so it's going to not hit the target. Jordan had gone up as well and was just in acres of space. I'm not sure where the rest of the Arsenal defence was, but like she'd run up so quick on the counter attack with Ebony that she was there ready to receive that pass. And it was so good also to see Ebony put her head up and make that pass.
Yes. Yeah. Look at the space around to see what's going on. Because Jordan was by herself, wasn't she? In acres of space, completely by herself, took a little touch for 1-0. And he just thought, right, we've got one. We've scored. From ex-Arsenal player, Jordan Nobbs, of course. How could we forget?
It was like obviously the bench and all the fans and everyone kind of went absolutely bonkers. But we just in front, so to the left of the bench, just in front of where we're sat, they've got like the monitor for the Sky TV feed.
Oh yeah.
And so the guys sitting there watching it or whatever, and Corsi and Mailing and a couple of the others were like looking over to see the replay of the goal on the monitor.
See, that's what you want. Like they're so invested in what's happening. And we've got a surprise appearance from Tracy. How you doing?
Oh,
it's moving.
Here she is. Oh no. There we go.
No.
Hello.
Oh,
You're
no.
right.
Right, I'm on the road at the moment, so the reception's not going to be brilliant. I might keep cutting in and out. I've got 5 bars at the moment, so that's good. We won! I can't believe
I
it.
think-
Oh my god.
We would. We absolutely would. I was going to say, Tracy, while you've got signal, share your thoughts. We were just on the first wall. We're just talking about Jordan Nobbs.
All right, okay. So, as you know, I wasn't there yesterday because I was in Cornwall, but I watched it all this morning. I watched the highlights last night, which was great. Yeah, I know. Well, I was watching it from this. Sorry, Rob's next to me driving.
Hi,
So I
Rob.
watched the full match this morning. Hello. Watched the full match this morning and just absolutely awesome. I think it took about 50. I don't know whether you think the same, but it took about 15 minutes for us to kind of like kick in. But then after that, wow, just complete domination of the game. It was just such a pleasure to see them play like we know that they can play. Absolutely awesome. Nobs was on obviously, which she's been missing for quite a while. And Hansen got a start, which is great because we know that she can score goals in this new position.
Yeah.
It was just absolutely amazing, and the pace on Chastity, absolutely unreal. Glad that Rachel got a goal. She looked proper happy, lying on the floor, not able to move with the shock. I think.
Stunned.
Yeah, stunned. But no, absolutely awesome.
It's going so well. It's going so well. But the best thing was we're all saying the same things, so you know we're all happy with that. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to take Tracy out, and then if our camera does come back, then I can let her in. But yeah, it was just brilliant. So we thought, right, we've got 1-0 up, brilliant, happy. Oh, is she back? Are you back?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're back.
I'll make it quick then because I don't want to keep dropping in and out like this. But the first goal, Salmon onto Nobs, proper class, just amazing. Just the whole setup, I think they just played so well together. Everything just knitted well. Some of the passes were just unbelievable. You know, just sorry, I keep saying I don't know why, but
There's just too much to talk about. That's why.
this is too. Yeah, it's just amazing. There you go again. No, it was just phenomenal to watch. So proud. The team just played as one. Just amazing. The only regret that I have is that I wasn't there to see it and to see the reactions of the fans and of the players at the end of the game. But I'm sure it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, no, we love it. Thank you, Jesse, for dropping in and saying that. And
You're very welcome.
You're absolutely right. It was the passion and the excitement and just everything kind of came together and in that moment. And I think originally, if it was on the Sunday, I genuinely don't think we would have had that performance. I think it was kind
Do you
of
know why I thought that? It was like the planets had aligned because it was midweek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was 6 o'clock. The sun was shining. Half of the group couldn't. Half of the fans couldn't be there because they were still at work or on their way home from work.
Yeah.
It was something special to watch on TV. I can only imagine what it was like to watch from the stands. Three games in a row, 3 wins in a row now. Let's go out on a bang. Let's make it 5. Why not?
Can you imagine all 5? That would be incredible.
Can you imagine? I honestly think that we are going to win on Sunday. I really do think that we can do it on Sunday. I think we're in the right mindset now. Everyone's happy, everyone's chill, there's no pressure. God's going to be on our side, isn't he, Gary?
Absolutely.
Say no more, say no more. Right, guys, I'm going to have to go now.
No worries. Safe travels.
He's off in and out. Thank you, guys. See you Sunday.
See you later.
Take care.
See you later.
Bye.
And thank you very much for Tracy, our roving reporter, who is coming with all the latest Villa news. But yeah, she's right. We're on such a high from this match. You know, how can we how can we get better? How can we keep going? Now, so that was 1-0, and we thought, okay, we've scored against Arsenal. We've surpassed all of our expectations. And then Kirsty Hansen comes along, doesn't she? As the commentator called it, an absolute banger. Yeah, 100%. The confidence Kirsty has now, her renewed confidence. Gary, we saw how much this meant to her, didn't we? This second goal. And to get that going into half time, 2-0 up, kind of what must that have been like? How were you feeling at this point?
Sort of like Kirsty's been like that all season. The amount of times she hit the post or the woodwork in some way, shape, or form, or just went over. She had that goal in her all season. And now that her confidence is starting to build, you can just see the pure joy on her face whenever the team's doing that, whenever she's doing that for the team. You know, everybody's putting in the work, but she's always been putting in the work. You know, we all watch her social media. You know, we've seen her over the Christmas period. Everybody else is having a break, and Kirsty's still there running out her drills and keeping herself in top form, wanting to come in the new year, hopefully with a bang, and wanting to be doing things like what she's done against Arsenal and what she's done against Tottenham. And it's a bit of a rolling theme here, you know, that now everything's sort of falling into place for her.
Yeah.
You know, she's probably almost picking herself in the team there after her 2 goals off the bench in the previous games. I know, could argue obviously some of the injuries and all, but nobody could take Kirsty's place away from her the way she's currently playing. And again, the whole team elation, the joy whenever she got that goal. You know, I'm sure everybody was a bit like me, driving up the motorway and pinching themselves, going, "Is this actually real?
Is it actually happening?" Yeah, because I work from home and I kind of had it off to the side, and the person I was teaching at the time is an Arsenal fan. They play for the Arsenal Academy, and we were talking about the match, and I went, "Have you seen the score?" Obviously we were meant to be doing work, and we were doing work. We were just catching up, and she's like, no, I haven't seen it. And I was like, it's 2-0 to Villa. And she was like, no, it's not. I was like, no. Because then at half time, so obviously Arsenal had a bit of rotation, hadn't they, to their starting 11. At half time, they then bring on Leah Williamson, Kim Little, and Alessia Russo. Now, they're probably their bigger names, their big guns that they brought out. Do you think, I don't know if anyone wants to jump in, and probably you all will at this point. If anyone's got any thoughts, do you reckon that was always the plan, to maybe have these names come on at half time? Or if Renee kind of went, oh, hello, need to change something up here, and we need to win ultimately, because they were still chasing Chelsea for that top spot, weren't they? So yeah, anyone got any thoughts on that?
I think she panicked because, I mean, we weren't expecting to be 2-0 up at half time, so why would Arsenal have been expecting us to be 2-0 up at half time?
That's a very good point. That's a very good point indeed. Yeah.
So I think she kind of went, uh-oh, need to do something.
Need my best players.
I mean, it didn't work, but, you know.
Ooh. Look at you. Yeah, so she took off Lotte Wubben-Moy, Kyra Cooney-Cross, and Victoria Belova as well. But you think even those 3 are good players. So to place them with...
What are you about? They're playing the B team yesterday.
I think they probably would have.
Media saying it's you only won because we played our B team.
They probably would have come off at some point, because I feel like Pelova and Wubben-Moy haven't been back that long from injury. But yeah, half time. There's no, like, having just played the Champions League matches, she definitely would have wanted to rest them for longer if she could.
You don't make half-time substitutions unless you know you shat the bed with this guy. That's the only time that you do a half-time sub is if you go, oh crap, I got this wrong.
Which, again, from an Arsenal perspective, you're thinking, right, good, yeah, get them on. We're losing, we need to get something back. But it even looked like, Arsenal, especially Lee Williamson at the end. We'll talk about her and Kate Robinson. They were just getting so angry, and Katie McCabe especially. And it was great because we got into the skin. Because normally it's, us on the receiving end, we can't do anything with it. But we were breaking through, we were attacking, we were getting past their defense, and it was fantastic. So I think we've earned some bragging rights, to be honest. Because it then went even worse for them, didn't it? Because less than a minute after the restart, Chastity gets her first of the afternoon. Now, a lot of people saying, if it was Daphne in goal, it would have been a different story. Maybe, but it wasn't. So,
but we can only beat what's in front of us.
Exactly.
That is true.
They're both international goalkeepers. It's not like
Zinsberger was their number one. They were rotating, so
yeah.
And we made Daphne. Just saying.
We did. Yeah, made Hannah Hampton, made Daphne. I mean, we need a bit more credit, to be honest. We do. Now, there was a miscommunication between Kate McCabe and Zinsberger. The other one thought the other one was coming out to deal with the ball, and Chastity was like, nope, we're not doing that. So, another question for the masses. Do we think there was some complacency there with Arsenal, that they just thought, oh, it's Villa?
Yes. Maybe at kickoff, second half, they weren't thinking that because they were already 2-0 down. So at that stage, whenever the third goal went in, that wasn't complacency. That was, we have really fucked up. And Katie McCabe, she's a fantastic talent. Loves a good scrap too.
Oh, yesterday.
But last night, she had probably one of the worst nights of her career.
Stinker last night.
Yeah. Salmon and Chastity ran her ragged down that. And to watch Chastity force her off the ball. Like, Katie McCabe's a player that has a back catalogue of putting people on their arse. And to see her sort of on the other end of that, you seen that side-eye photo that I loaded to the group chat earlier on. She was not a happy bunny.
No. And it was like the reality, wasn't it, of, we've just come from beating Lyon, one of the best teams in the world, to get into a Champions League final, to be making these silly mistakes. And I think the frustration was there because they were like, this isn't our standard. Like, what is going on? But they just couldn't seem to put it right, could they?
So also probably like with us scoring so, like from the halftime kickoff, there's probably a sense of like, especially like looking at our record across the season, having when a team goes 2-0 up against them, which doesn't happen very often, they probably then expect that team to sit back and try and defend it. And we were like, nope, we're just going to carry on coming at you. We're just going to carry on high pressing.
And how refreshing was that, by the way? The fact that Villa were able to do that and had the confidence to do that and said, no, we're not happy with 2. We're gonna keep going, because Arsenal at the minute, they're wide open. They're not putting up much of a fight. So why not? So I think, again, conceding that third straight after the second half started, where they've probably gone, right, come on, we can do this in the second half, and then that goes in, and they're just like, oh no.
And then it just gives us
sitting back and defending the eight, sorry.
Oh, hang on, Gary, what did you say?
Oh, no, somebody else is speaking before me. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, and then it gives Villa that renewed sense of belief, because you could go into half time and it's like a break in momentum, which, as the momentum had been with us, coming back out after half time could have killed the momentum that we had. But because we scored so early, we're like, hey, we can carry on doing this.
Hey, look, it wasn't a fluke. We can do this in the second half too.
Did no one else think it was going to get taken away from us, though? Like, I wasn't comfortable until we had 4 goals in.
You wanted, you were like,
Yeah.
bring on all the defenders.
I was like, can we get to the back 5 now, please? I was just...
In the back of that video, you wanted a back 6.
Oh, yeah. So I was like, back everything. Just put all
Get the defenders on.
I was so terrified after how much we like struggled to get it back after Liverpool. And then when we obviously looked like we were going to do something very similar again, I was just like, no! I don't think I was comfortable until the 5th goal. I don't think it was
The final whistle.
until it got into like the 70s, and I was just like, okay, they
I
can't.
think while it was 4-2, we were definitely like, I still
wasn't
worried.
there. I was worried until Chastity's last goal.
Yeah, when she
To be
restored
fair.
the
Okay,
goal.
I physically don't have time to score enough goals.
Yeah. No, and that was the thing, because Gary, what were you going to say?
Well, what I was going to say is, like Emily had said there about teams that maybe take the lead and then set back. That was most of our season.
Yeah.
And that's where we lost a lot of our points, because then we had completely lost momentum and the other teams had it. So whenever they took the lead, we were in the position Arsenal were last night, where we couldn't get our feet into the ground because we were constantly on the back foot. So last night, we basically just done the opposite of what we've done all season. And we kept Arsenal on the back foot. So, Nick might have wanted us to go for a back 6 or park the bus or something. But
Internally.
again, I think that would have been a mistake. I think the game plan last night, where we didn't allow Arsenal to settle.
Yeah.
And Chastity and Salmon ran them ragged with their pace. It might have been against a tired Arsenal team, but they made something like 6 or 7 changes were playing against us, and even the players that came in, they're well respected players. Arsenal aren't sitting top of the league or second, because they rely on the same 11 players every match. It's what we've always said. It is a squad game. It's why Chelsea do so well. It's why Arsenal are doing so well. It's why whenever Man City picked up all their injuries throughout their squad, they started to fall behind. And, that was us most of the season, where we had a lot of our players out with injuries and so on. And, now that we can play our own game because we know we're safe, I think that's made all the difference, that we can stay on the front foot and actually enjoy our football.
I think that's the other thing. For all of, obviously, Arsenal rotated quite a few players, but like we had so many injured as well. There might be more, but 4 of the players that started last week didn't start this week. 3 or 4. So like we also had a completely like switched up and changed around lineup. So I think that just makes how they played, extra. Something to be extra proud of.
The core of the defence.
Like if you look like at our back line against Liverpool and Spurs, completely different to the one last night.
Yeah.
And I don't know, just
Arsenal can't use their rotation as an excuse when we.
That's what I'm trying to get at. Yeah.
Have enough defenders. To have a back line, and our bench consisted of 2 fit players, 2 injured players, and 3 children.
Yeah, the only like attacking option we had on the bench.
We were scraping the barrel yesterday. So theirs might have been their B team, but half of our bench was not even our B team; it was an academy, and we still beat them.
Yeah.
So let's cut the B team rotation excuses, Arsenal. We did crap.
Because Moritz and Taylor are just the absolute natural centre back pairing,
Absolutely, yeah.
I was slightly Maria centre back. I was like, where's our like classic centre back pairing gone? And then they did really well, and I was like, what is this? Like, what is going on? What is this? We shouldn't be doing this well with a midfielder that doesn't even play as centre back and a pair that just have never worked together. Like, this should not be happening. But it happened.
And yeah, what a good performance. I do apologise. I'm just putting a sheet on the baby's bed, just in case anyone's wondering what it is. Yeah, because hey, well, let's talk about it because everyone said they weren't happy. 4-0, 4-0 up, and Rachel Daly gets her goal. The commentator was losing his mind at this point. And so were we, because what on earth was happening? Again, Arsenal's back line, we were just talking about it, not able to deal with it. Katie Reid, I don't like for a young talent, Katie Reid is doing exceptionally well.
she's-
We do really say that. But yeah, I mean, just
Couldn't
using
cope with
Rachel Daly. It happens. It's Rachel Daly. She continued her run, and again, continuing her run. We've been saying it all season. Put yourself in the box. You never know what's going to happen. And was able to slot the ball home for 4-0. And you just think, can we get more? Can we?
It was such a good ball through from Kirsty as well, because you could see Rach point to exactly where she wanted it, and Kirsty was like, "Okay."
Okay, I can do that. No, you're absolutely right. And you just think at that point, because I came down at, was it 5-2? When I told you? Yeah. Georgie is here, by the way. And I came down, so I was like, "Guess what?" And she was like, "To Villa." And I was like, "Yeah." Because we just weren't expecting it. But then, of course, this was the moment that it possibly could have changed. Stina Blackstenius, of all people, gets a goal back.
It was onside.
It was
Wow.
onside. The one time we're hoping that her effort goes, that she is offside, as she normally is. And no offsides. But yeah, just long ball over the top and just got straight past Sabs for that one. And that was in the 67th minute. And then, of course, a couple of minutes later, Russo then gets the second. So did we think 2 goals, quick succession? Oh, this is Arsenal. They're coming back. They're going to do it. Did anyone have any thoughts there?
I thought we lost it. I thought we
Yeah.
were going to do same old Villa and just completely.
Yeah, maybe
shut
thoughts of
down.
same old Villa. Yeah.
I remember saying to you, Nick, there was
Yeah.
I think it was around then, there was a point where we just couldn't get out of our final third. Like, Arsenal had the ball. Like, remember at one point, Arsenal had a corner, and there was usually a defender stays back or whatever, but they were all so far up the pitch, and Zinsberger was like the highest. There was nobody else back, and we just couldn't get out of our.
Yeah, we had a frustrating 5 minutes if we did clear it, it was Dan Turner kicking it out of play. So
Like hoofing it out, yeah.
It was just coming back.
It was it was like a clear difference.
Scary 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Seemed like a lot longer than 5 minutes, but obviously now looking at the time the goals were scored, Blackstone 67, Russo 71, and then Chastity saved our
It
lives.
was only a few, but it felt longer.
It felt like, oh my god, like this is all going to go horribly wrong.
It was so different that period then, where we were just hoofing the ball out to clear it, compared to the first half. I remember that point in the first half, like down to the left of where we were sat, where we were like doing some tiki-taka, like passing it out of the area, and we were like, "What are we doing? This isn't us. How are we doing this?"
Who do we think we are? Barcelona? What? What's going on? It was a moment where you thought, okay, maybe they've switched back on, maybe they're going to do it. But then, as you said, Chastity gets her brace for the afternoon in the 73rd minute. Jill Bynes, of course, coming on. So let's talk about our subs. Let me just get them up. So
I think that in part contributed to the
I think that
Arsenal
contributed to
surviving.
the second goal.
what?
I think we just completely disagreed, didn't you? Better survival, and I said it contributed to the second goal.
No, I said I was agreeing with you. I said I think
I think that
contributed to that 10 minutes of disjointedness.
Yes, because we had Maz, Missy Bo, and Ebony all went off in the 69th minute. For Rachel Mortby, senior debut, Kate Robinson, and Jill Byings, of course. Jill's setting up that 5th and final goal from Chastity. Did we need those subs, or do you think that was just we were up enough so we were getting minutes in different legs? Do you think?
I think seeing the players after they came off, they were absolutely pooped. They were like flopped on the ground, like
Ebony lay down.
think-
Maz in
had
picture.
ice packs on both of her cars.
Yeah. Maz had like
they needed to come out. They would.
Missy
they would
Bow, I
have-
think, had some sort of limp going on after the game.
She was putting an ice pack on her back.
Yeah.
So yeah, they needed to come off. They were shredding themselves to pieces.
Yeah, I think it was changes were necessary.
I was scared about taking. I was very upset about taking Pacheco out for Maltby because Emily was insisting that
I know I
Maltby
got it wrong.
was a centre back, and I was like, "Why have they taken a centre back off? Why have they taken a wing back off for a centre back? Like now we've only got one." It's just like, and then she realised that.
And then I realised Salloway was the centre back and
And-
Maltby's actually a fullback.
Maltby did actually do quite well. So my apologies.
So Emily was just scaremongering at this point. Okay.
I think
Yeah, it was good, but then she was like, "Oh, I don't know what you're worried about." And it's like, why don't you know what I'm worried about? We've just taken out Maz Pacheco for, I thought, a very young and inexperienced centre back, and that's not even what happened. I think she was fantastic when she came on. She made some really good runs.
She was really
Yeah.
good.
Really good runs.
And she nearly got a goal involvement, didn't she? If
Yeah,
her
she put the
last
ball
route
up.
here, Robinson could have came off, that would have been brilliant.
she did.
Yeah, go on.
I was going to say, I think, because obviously both of Arsenal's goals came from down that side. I think it took her a few minutes to get into the, up to the speed of the game.
Yeah.
But definitely by
the
the
parents.
final, 5-10 minutes, she looked at home there. But yeah, I think initially there was a bit of I can't remember, it must have been Blackstonius maybe, running down that right wing. And I remember you being like, run faster, run faster.
Please.
Literally get up to the speed of the game.
I was going to say, getting up to that tempo though must have been quite hard to come on at that moment, because it was just after everyone had. Oh no, it was just before, wasn't it? So in the thick of that, right? Are Arsenal going to come back? Can we keep it? Can we? So to get up to scratch.
She did make a couple of towards the end of the game. She went. I think it was. One time I distinctly remember she went toe to toe with Mariona and ended up I can't remember if maybe Arsenal got a corner from it, but actually, I don't think they did. I think it ended up going out for a throw in, and you're just she's one of the world's best players, so I think she did.
Yeah.
I think if her and Robbo had a little bit more confidence, there would have been more goals yesterday. Because Robbo had 2 opportunities to shoot, and she was just a bit like, "No, I can't." It's like, you can, and you should have done.
That's a bit like Kirsty's been scoring, so she's high on confidence, so she's taken that first time opportunity, whereas there's a couple Robbo was running in on goal with the ball and sort of carried on dribbling further than she needed to.
Yeah, and it's hard, isn't it? Because when the game was so confident up until that point, I think it really showed more than ever of, oh, that's what we've been doing. Let's not be that team anymore. Let's come back to this confident, we can do anything team. I think that really highlighted it at that point. You're right. Chastity gets a final goal again, then 5-2. And finally, the whistle goes. Of course, we had the return of Sarah Meerling and Rachel Corsie as well. When she appeared with a black eye, and we were all like, can you not? Can you just stay out the balls, please?
Just stay in one piece.
We've got a couple of games. That's it. And then you can do what you want over the summer. But for now, just please stay safe.
We were calling for them to come on just for that bit more of experience at the back to close it out.
Yeah. See it out, keep it.
I think she 100% made the right decisions with those two, taking a striker off for Sarah and then taking another striker off for Corsie. Just, we've got the lead, just game management, protect the game. And
100%.
It worked.
Yeah, 81st and 89th minute for those 2 subs. And yeah, you're right. It was at that point about, right, we've done what we need to do. Let's just make sure we don't do a Villa and lose it. So I agree. And yeah,
it was really nice as well. There was a bit of confusion when Corsie came on because the 4th official put number 8 up, so Jordan thought she was coming.
Yes, the wrong number went up.
It ended up with Rachel coming off, so it was quite nice because then they could, give the armband back and stuff.
Yeah.
She made it so animated as well. It wasn't just there you go. It was here, I'm taking it off and I'm it was like, I don't know, it's just a really beautiful moment. I was just like,
Yeah, it
oh, like skipper to skipper love. I'm just like, oh, it was just all of the feels yesterday. Like,
Mm.
Yeah, it was.
I'll put it that way. It was too many feels.
But again, just did we ever think, especially at the start of the season, that this would ever happen?
Well, not at the start of the season, no, because we were managed by Satan himself. No, people say you can't polish a turd, but Natalia has. She has proved the impossible is possible. She has taken us from fighting relegation to now 9th and 1 point off 8th.
And who'd have thought it? I know someone in can't remember who it was on Twitter. They said, if other results go our way and we win our remaining games, we could end in 5th. That's the ridiculousness of the WSL. You can have a ridiculous season, but so can everyone else. They can drop off, and we've seen it in the Championship as well. Portsmouth are suddenly safe, and Sheffield are going down, and you want a minus 105 goal difference. Where have you come from? But yeah, no, you're right. We're now in 9th place, 19 points, level with Spurs, but we've got a slightly better goal difference.
Thank you for that last
Thank you, 5-2.
Yes,
Exactly.
It's interesting because how we are the first half of our season, or the first 2/3 of our season, were awful. But then, you look at Spurs, and they're sort of the flip side. They haven't won since January.
Yeah.
And I know, because we obviously focus mostly on Villa, in the squad and the results and what's going on. But it kind of, like you said a minute ago, it just shows that it is obviously over the course of the whole season. If you've got a little bit of, you can turn it around. Yeah.
Like West Ham were.
West Ham.
At one point, we were like, "Oh, it's going to be Crystal Palace or West Ham that gets relegated." Sorry, what have they? What happened to them? Where have they come from?
Yeah, 7-1 demolition of Palace, and you're like, sorry, you're
I
scoring
was slightly
7.
worried when I saw that. Because I knew
Yeah,
we'd
I was
still
like,
play
I literally said when we were doing fancy dress, it's just like, has anyone's costume big enough to just cover Martina? Someone's
Hide her so she can't get on the pitch.
If anyone's got a particularly large fancy dress costume, nun costume or something like that, just
Maybe a monk.
I have a particularly large costume, but I'm a particularly large person to go into it.
breathe in, Gary.
Come on, make room.
Yeah. But it just
Although
shows
God will be on our
Well,
side.
it's something we need to be prepared for, isn't it? Oh, I think we did our usual multiple.
I said that God will be on our side.
where is this godliness coming from?
If you're there on Sunday, you'll find out.
Something to do with whatever Gary's
Oh,
wearing.
you're going as a priest. There we go. You're Irish.
Why would I dress as a priest if I'm Irish? I don't touch little boys. Allegedly.
Oh dear me, it's not 9 o'clock yet.
You
This
are
is
gonna
not
have an
Villa
extra
After
large
Dark.
costume then
Come
to
on.
fit a human under.
Okay, yeah.
I'm going to remove you two.
I was completely.
Just we were going. You said something before about. Oh, you said about DePaul.
Yeah, Emily, say this.
No, I was going to say, just if you look at that Arsenal game compared to when we played Arsenal at the Emirates, it's like night and day, because
That never happened. So
that was
Yeah.
one of our worst performances of the season.
I genuinely have no recollection whatsoever of that game. My
chucked it
memory
down.
completely repressed it. It's gone. I couldn't tell you what happened.
I think
don't-
it was the last one of maybe the last game that DePaul was in charge.
I actually think I may have just been unconscious when it played because
I can't
It
remember
chucked
that
it
game
down.
at all.
It was an
I don't-
awful scoreline, and I distinctly remember the
4-0,
players
wasn't
came
it?
over afterwards, and DePaul did not.
Oh, was that the one we
Yes.
got down the tunnel? Oh, yeah, I remember. I don't remember the game, but I just remember putting. Is it true that he just walked down the tunnel in a strop?
Yeah.
Who's this the person you're talking about?
When we played Arsenal at the Emirates.
Yeah, 4-0. Yeah.
I really hope he's watching.
Yeah.
What, the matches or the pod?
Both.
I mean, probably not the pod, but like the matches. I really hope he's watching from his little unemployed seat back in the Netherlands.
Yeah, and seeing how we do.
With his, I don't know, whatever Dutch people drink, and just be like, I couldn't do it.
Did you see on Kenza's stories? Kenza was watching the match because she reposted Ebony's goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh, did she?
Kenza
Miss
Ebony.
I miss Kenza.
Another thing, B team. We've had half a squad for like
the whole season.
Forever. Yeah. But it was even the fact that we went, oh, brilliant. We've got Sarah Millen and Rachel Corty back from injury. Oh, but we've lost Lucy Stan again. And we've lost Parker again. And we've lost. So it's just a constant
Lucy Stan just does cameos
injuries.
every now and again, doesn't she? She just like pops in for like 1 or 2 matches.
Yeah.
Reminds us that she's there and then goes
nowhere when she plays. But well, same with Parker. She's always injured too.
Yeah, they have no luck with injury.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, we need to wrap them up and cut them all, please.
It was a nice surprise to see Sarah, though, because in the match packs and everything, it said that she wasn't going to make a return.
That's what I mean. I think we were that
and then she was there
for defenders that they were just like, do you reckon you can push it? Do you reckon?
Yeah, you can do
like
5 minutes.
10. Kneel if you need to. Just
I thought they'd made a typo.
Kneel in front of the goal.
Just lie across the goal. Just like, no.
I thought they made a typo because like there was no Patsy, but there was a Mailing, and I was like, if they just put the wrong defender on the list. But then she appeared.
There was all sorts of confusion as well because when they did the list on the big screen, Maltby wasn't in it. Yeah. And when Maltby came on, I was just, oh my god, I hope that they're not fielding an ineligible player because she's not on the list. I was like, no, don't do this. This better not be happening.
They put the team up on the big screen, and we were like, well, she's definitely here. She's over there. I can see her.
I can see her. I did a panic. The kind of thing we would do is not listen and then play and then they'll be like, actually.
Imagine if her parents were there waiting for their big moment, taking a picture of the squad on the squad.
She's not there. But then a picture of her warming up with that in the background, and we're like, she is. She did make a debut. She did. Yeah. Fairly confident I recognise it. That she's there. Oh dear. But yeah, I mean, getting a senior debut in that match. I mean,
she waited so long for it as well, bless her. How many times has she been named on the bench? Like she was named for ages, and then the first time Salaway was named, she debuted. Maltby was probably just like, excuse me. I've been waiting weeks.
Also, longer, thank you. Salaway's already got a song.
Salaway. I can sing it too fast.
Yeah.
Very annoying.
That Enya song.
That's quite a gentle. So if it's in quite a, I don't know, maybe if the match isn't going quite right, maybe that could be quite soothing.
Yeah, but they would sing it like sort of.
Sing it too fast. The remix is very weird.
Yeah.
I don't think I can get down with it. She doesn't even pay attention when you sing it. Like I don't.
Natalia did notice that we were singing for her though. She quite enjoyed it, I think.
Oh yeah, she did smile at us. Yeah, she's like, yeah, well done. That's like, oh my god, we decided. I don't know how much of Natalia was shown on Sky.
Not much.
Somebody needs to do a Natalia cam.
Yeah.
She was what? I mean, she was doing crab dances. She was doing
She's so animated. It's
that woman
not being a new feature.
Brilliant Cossack dancer because she's like, or an Irish dancer. She's just constantly like legs bent, like.
I don't know if you can see this. Can you?
Oh, is this the
play button?
Does a crab dance and then randomly kicks a leg up?
Yeah.
Crab dance, crab dance, crab dance, crab dance.
It'll go back to you in a second. Hang on. If I've picked the right video, who can say?
I hope so. I'm not.
Hang on. It's taken. It's nearly at the end. We'll go back to it. Really soon, maybe. This is thrilling stuff, guys.
I mean, this is award-winning content.
No, never mind. Apparently not.
Oh no!
I'll find it.
So she does
I
crab
did.
dance, crab dance, crab dance, then turns around and randomly puts her right leg up. It's just like, what are you doing?
That's a bit like Jim Carrey-esque in a series of unfortunate events. That's very.
Yeah. But I
Yeah.
say she must have.
I'll try find it again.
She must
Yes,
have quads of
please do.
steel.
We
Because she was
need
just like
more footage.
constantly like.
Well, that is now
Oh, I found it.
aim for.
So
Found it.
initially, we've got the sort of. Oh, hang on. Sorry, this is going really well. Can you see
Okay.
it?
Yeah.
You really need to learn how
Yeah.
to like share your screen and stuff, man.
I don't know how to do that. Here we go. Here she goes.
Da, 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 da.
Do that. She's like, meh.
I love it.
So
Yeah,
if anyone
we
forgets
really
what
need
to do,
to.
guys, what you do is you kick the ball.
Oh, there, I've got another one. I'm sorry.
It's
It
brilliant.
seems like we're taking the mic, but genuinely we do.
No,
love
I
it.
actually love her.
Yeah.
She's so animated.
I love it.
Okay, here we
The
go.
jazz hands. This. Like what?
Why is it? It's not. It's too
I
bright.
genuinely. Oh, she's posing.
I need
I
it to,
genuinely
like-
think she's taught them like.
she's doing some like dancing, but yeah,
I think
Villa are missing a trick.
goals.
That's fantastic. No, we do. We need a Natalia
You know how
cam.
I feel
And
does that with the corners? Like she was communicating with the arm. I genuinely think Natalia has taught them some kind of like. This
Code.
means like push up and I don't know, like crab dance means. I don't know. It's got to be that she is fantastically insane, or there's
She's so good to
strange
watch.
meaning behind it. She's so fun. Like
just brilliantly Spanish.
sometimes I didn't even
I think
know what's
that's what
happening in the
we're
game
missing.
because I was just watching her.
Yeah.
The only things that Sky showed was when when she does that crouch down, a very solemn watching
likes to watch it
from a
from
low
grass level.
angle.
Not even
Yes.
pitch level, just the floor level.
No. Not even a Gareth Taylor up in the stands or a Carla with a walkie-talkie, just pure grass.
From the
What's
grass's
going on.
point of view.
So we've got a few of those zoom-ins. But yeah, we didn't see any crab dancing.
I love that she
Human
high
as
fives
well.
every member of the bench when we scored as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their hands would have been sore in
they-
that game.
I mean, her
She's like,
hands
"Oh,
must have
this
been
is a long-"
sore. Like, well, good job it was a small bench yesterday. Let's put it that way. Well, if it was a full bench and she was high-fiving everyone for 5 goals, she's gonna have like. She wouldn't need
I was going to say, it was
her own
everyone
hands
lineup.
for like celebrating. She's just got her own.
But it is the most action that Caitlin's hands have seen all season.
She had that one appearance. Remember?
I like
Remember
that
that one
sometimes on
time?
the bench she just sits with her gloves on like she's going to be called on. It's just so cute. It's like
I don't know, some of Sab's decision making earlier on the season, we were waiting at her following on elite.
What were you going to say a minute ago, Emma?
Yeah. I liked that after that double save as well, Natalia immediately shouted to Sabs and went like, "Good save, good save." I just thought that was
Caitlin
really
as
good.
well. Caitlin
It
was
was
like,
really nice. To, like, acknowledge it.
Yeah, it was nice. It was good to see it being like recognised.
Yes, that recognition, that communication. And I love that Sophie's just said, she's chatting to the grass to bring the good juju. That would definitely be something. We talk to the grass and we have a moment. And yeah, what magic indeed. Okay, so before we go on to looking ahead to the weekend and some other bits and pieces that our lovely listeners and followers on social media have asked us to talk about. Anything more for the match? Anyone wants to mention? Good, the bad,
I
the
wrote
ugly?
some. What?
she said the good, the bad, the ugly. I was like, was there bad? Did anything bad happen?
I mean, not for us. I mean, we conceded, maybe. We could monitor that. But yeah, it's from an Arsenal
I wrote
perspective.
something else down, but I have just thought.
Yeah, go
For once, it felt like maybe it's because we were on like the front foot in the game. I don't know, but it felt like we had a referee that was making fair decisions and perhaps
Right.
even slightly in our favour.
Yes. Clap to the ref. Who was
Very
ref again?
slow.
Yes, there we go. Yeah, because Nick, I remember you saying, "Oh, she's warming up. We're going to get a
I
good
know.
ref."
It's
Yeah,
nice to see. Obviously, she's international class as well, isn't she? So it's nice. I'm assuming was it not the essentially one of the league deciders on Sky probably wouldn't have, because obviously Chelsea was given Happy Burn as well. So like we both had a good qualifier. I'm assuming we probably wouldn't have had that ref if it wasn't that situation. But very glad that we did. I think after Stacey Fullocks, whoever we had last time, and you know some of the other ones we've had, we deserved a referee that actually seemed to have read the rule book at some point.
And she was letting the game flow quite a lot at the start as well.
Yes, I was going to say that. And it felt like, as ridiculous as it felt like a proper game. Like a proper game of football. Things were being let go that didn't need to be stopped, and just it was done properly and well and fairly. And so it makes a change to be able to have this moment and to be like, that was good refereeing, rather than just being on the end of the bad decisions. Did you have something else?
I wrote down earlier. I'm just trying to decipher what I've written. I liked that.
Is it in Natalia's secret language?
Some letters don't exist. I liked that, even though we were hit by several, like we had long-term injuries, and then we had in like the week build up to the game, we had more injuries happen to players that would usually start. I liked that Natalia kept with what is clearly her favourite formation, and we stuck to how she's trying to play. Like we didn't say, oh, you know, we haven't got Patsy and Parker, we're just going to completely switch it up. Like I like that we stuck to playing the back three and wing backs and two up top with Kirsty and Ebony. It like, even though previously Kirsty's been coming on as a sub in that striker role, it was good to see that when she's starting, that's also where she's going to fill in.
Rachel as well.
Yeah, it was just it was good to see that we sort of stuck to how we wanted to play, because it's finally paying off. She's been it gives people, hopefully they're trying to recruit over the summer, and it gives them something to look for, players that are going to fit that system, and something to sort of try and attract players in with and say, this is how we're going to play. So if that's something you want to be a part of, come to Villa.
Yeah. Hey, look, we're building something here.
I think it's a lot more promising now. We've got Natalia in place.
Yeah.
Yes. Because again, something I want to talk about was, again, on Sky, the commentary was saying it might be harder for Villa to attract people in the summer because Natalia's an unknown manager, and Villa being where they were in the league, players might not want to be a part of that. So it was quite negative. As usual.
Only follow British football.
Well, that's the thing, and you know, I mean, a lot of people do, but you know, the rest of us quite like to look internationally, don't we? But sorry, I
was going to say that was maybe true like 2 months ago, because it was nothing was clicking and it wasn't happening. But now you've got this. Yeah, you can point to the last 3 results and say, well, it is working, and we're only gonna get more used to playing that way.
Exactly, and then we're going to have a new identity, and we're going to build on that, and we're going to build.
I think it is good to look. I don't know what that was. To look further afield, anyway, in the summer for players, because like it's like this year with Chastity. I know that it was DePauw that brought her in, but she's playing better now than she ever has done. So it would be good to see some new faces come in from other leagues, because they're also an unknown for the other teams and the other coaches.
I mean, if some Spanish players want to come over because they like Natalia, fabulous.
I mean, I had a few Spanish players on my list.
I'll take the Spanish players.
We can definitely do that. We can absolutely do that.
And I was going to say, Jill's another player. I don't know what our chances are of keeping her, but I think she's
staying. I was thinking that.
She's another player that's come from the European League, and
she's from Bayern, didn't she? Bayern have just won the league again, of course.
Maybe she'll stay for another
so-
year on loan. You never know. Kirsty stayed 2 years, didn't she?
Yeah, but we've stopped starting Jill now, and
We
I
don't
think
have to.
I feel like that might be because we know her loan is ending.
Yeah.
I
I
think
have felt, because she's not
tried for a
started
bit,
recently.
like giving her the armband and stuff, and then I feel like conversations may have happened backstage because she suddenly stopped starting and stopped being given an armband. That's just really
Yeah, it's got to be a sit down conversation with Natalia, isn't it? Like, right, what's your long term plan for me? Am I going to be as involved as I was? You know, is it just depending on injuries? And you know, you want to be a big part of that future.
So at the
don't
minute
you?
we've got no one making business decisions for us either, have we? So
Yeah, because there's no.
Yes,
we've got no chief exec, have we? So
no. So we need, Villa need to bring someone in ASAP because we need these decisions to be done. Because the next thing that was on our list to talk about, this was AVWFC Lionesses asked us to talk about, and I'll just get it up so I get it word for word. Saying, if possible, can you discuss the difference between having the option to extend their contract and not having the option? Surely in both cases, both parties need to agree. So if in either case one party doesn't agree, it won't go ahead. So why is there an option of the contract? I mean, fair. I think it's just there to be triggered if both parties are happy with the extra year. Does anyone know anything further than that?
I don't. I guess it's like a money thing as well, isn't it? Because if the club decide not to extend her contract, then some. I don't know how that works. Do they, or if the club triggered the contract extension, but the player still wanted out, then they'd have to look for somebody to buy them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it'd still be in contract with the club.
It's a bit confusing. I
'cause
don't really understand.
Yeah, if Sophie's still watching, I feel like that's something Sophie would know.
I
The
genuinely
ins and outs of-
don't think, Travis, I genuinely don't think a club would extend the contract
If the player
if
didn't
the
want.
player was unhappy. You wouldn't want to keep an unhappy player in your squad.
Well, you look at like Chloe Kelly with Man City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It becomes a toxic environment, you know.
And
For Chloe, it was toxic because of Gareth, but, you know, you don't want a player in your squad that doesn't want to be there.
Yeah.
And I think that's ultimately how we lost Kenza and Leon as well, because they weren't playing, they weren't happy, they didn't want to be with us anymore, and it sucks because they're talented players and we have a lot of love for them. But you can see how much happier they are as San Diego as well. You know, I'm sure the sunshine has absolutely nothing to do with it. But it's just the way football goes, you know, and you wouldn't want to keep a toxic environment. So I don't think a player would or a squad would extend the contract unless the player genuinely wanted to stay.
Yeah, because eagle-eyed viewers will have spotted this on Sky Sports. We have 9 players out of contract in the summer. Only 2 have the option to extend. So this is where this question came from. So out of contract, we've got Rachel Corsi, Rachel Daly, I was going to call it full name of it, Danielle Turner, Dan Turner, Jordan Nobbs, Lucy Staniforth, Sarah Malin, Kirsty Hansen, Maz Pacheco, and Lucy Parker. And the only 2 with options are Kirsty and Lucy Parker.
I think it's probation, isn't it? I guess.
Yeah, I guess it gives the club like a bit of, when you sign a player, it gives them a bit of wiggle room, because if after 2 years they're like, actually we've changed our mind. So it's basically like a 3-year one, but you don't get the full go ahead for the 3rd year until you've done your 2-year.
Yeah, and if it doesn't work out, then both parties have got an option to leave it. Yeah, good. Sophie's on it. Thank you very much. I think it depends on the clause for the extension unilaterally. I'm not 100% certain. Yeah, okay. Because usually it is, we'll see, like we saw with Jordan, the club have triggered the extension on her contract, rather than, hey, she's staying for another year, yay. It was very serious, wasn't it? They've triggered the so yeah. So out of those then, because of course they put the age next to all the players as well. Do we think any of those players are either going to be moved on or
It
let
is
go?
basically all of our older
Because-
players, isn't it? Apart from like Lucy, Sarah, and
Yeah,
Kirsty.
Yeah.
and
Maz.
Maz.
I mean, I reckon Maz will stay.
I reckon Maz will stay.
Of course he will. Of course he's got to
I'd like
retire. She's my age. And I ain't no spring.
You're 45. Yeah.
Funny. Aren't you my age as well?
Rude. No. I'm just younger than you. No. But yeah, I think Rachel Corsi's 35.
Okay, of course he's younger than me too.
Because you're 90. Daly and Turner are 33. Nobbs and Staniforth are 32. Malin's 28. So yeah, then we go into our younger generation. But yeah, it would be, I think maybe Rachel Corsi with injury, as much as we don't want her to go, but she's doing a lot more punditry now and stuff like that, isn't she? So
I'd quite like Corsi to, even if she doesn't carry on playing, to stay with the club in some role.
I told you she needs to be the financial director.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's a chartered accountant or something, isn't she? So
yeah, get her to use the skills. Absolutely.
She can-
And again, it's someone that the players know and trust. So therefore they should, if she can stay, then we'd absolutely love her to. Rachel Daly, do we think they're gonna give her a new contract?
I think
I've got the money for her.
Maybe even if
I don't know. I think because we've stayed up, it's probably made it a bit easier.
Yeah.
I think like personal life.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even know.
Personally,
I don't
yeah.
even know if she'd stay for personal life because she's also a very big family person. But it's kind of like, is she going to stay in Birmingham with Sarah?
Yeah.
Who, although saying that, Sarah's contract's also going to. Are they going to go up north? Are they going to? Is Rach going to go down
Okay, so where would they go?
somewhere in the Championship Northern?
Okay,
I don't think
the
Rachel
only
Daly would
ones
settle for the championship.
We did.
So, and she's only scored.
we've got Blackburn, Durham, Sunderland, and Newcastle.
Oh, we did say the other day because she's got the podcast now with Millie Bright as well. We wondered if London City came up. I wondered if London City would be like, it's a big name signing without it being probably too expensive. Not that money's a problem for them.
Now she's doing the pod like remotely.
Like-
The first time it was together, I was like, oh.
Because I could see London City signing them both. I don't want them to. Just putting it out there. I don't want London City to
Yeah,
do either thing.
I don't know if Michelle Kang will go, right, we're in the WSL, so we need bigger names now. Because she brought in your Jakobsen, your Atlani, she brought in all
while they were
those.
still in the championship.
Yeah.
Now
But
she'd be
now
like, we need Alexia.
bring me Aitana. That's what we need. That would be so funny if Aitana was London City player. Okay, so Rich Daly unconfirmed as Sarah Mellon. Dan Turner.
In the nicest possible way, I don't think
don't
anyone's
know.
going to try and take her.
That's the worry. I wonder if she'll be. I can see her doing sort of a bit like what happened with Simone McGill, where for some reason, like, it's not quite the same because she's a bit younger, but we didn't keep her, and then she's gone down a division and done really well.
Yeah. Yeah, no, she has.
No, I mean, I think we'll keep her because no one will take her. If that makes sense. I can't see her getting scouted. Is that
I'd
something?
happily keep
Yeah,
her.
I mean, I guess what I mean is like if the club
I think
doesn't
she's played
extend the
enough.
contract.
It depends the direction the club's going to go in, though, doesn't it? Because if they're going to do a mass exodus of everyone they don't kind of deem to get them to that next level, then unfortunately it is going to be those fringe players. It is going to be the players that maybe don't have the name attached to them, which isn't fair. That maybe do get shown the door. I hope Dan doesn't, but
I think it would be a little bit silly to lose anyone on the back line, considering how every season we find ourselves with a massively injured back line and we're crying out for defenders. So I think if we let any of them go, we'd be a little bit on the thick side.
Jordan and Lucy Stan.
Jordan worries me.
I think Jordan will stay until the day she dies.
You think she'll see out her career at Villa?
I don't think she'll go back. When
Yeah,
she
but
first came, I
could
thought
see her
she's going to
going
go back to
north.
North.
She might do a Geordie Taylor and just like sign for the last 3 months with Arsenal, then see a career back out there.
Where did you don't reckon she'd go up and finish her career at Sunderland?
Oh, I love that.
Why would she?
Great.
That's where she started out, there, wasn't it?
Yeah, I hope her and Lucy Bronze do that.
I don't think she's at that point yet. I think that she's still too good.
I mean, she's like
No, she's not at that point, is she?
for WSL. Like, she's not gonna.
Yeah, she's still WSL. So I think.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think in the best possible sense, we're still the right team for her. Because I think if she goes any higher in terms of where the clubs are, I don't think she'll get the minutes. Don't think she'll get played. So I think we're still a good level of team for her.
I think even logistically in the country, because she does spend a lot of time down in London as well, is one of the things, our players, we're talking about Knobs going north or Daly going north, but both of them spend quite a bit of time sort of going down south to London and stuff as well. We're better logistics.
Yeah. Do we think London City might go for Jordan then?
They can right off.
If they do,
We'll have something to
Protest
say about
outside.
it if they do.
Surely, all our players that know Rue know how London City have treated their players, though.
Yeah.
Surely
That is a very good point. Yes.
Surely they all speak, and Rush is going to be like, don't do it.
Yeah.
But then saying that, we never thought 2 of our players would go and play for Jonas, and that happened. So,
Yeah.
considering half of our squad was players that left him,
And then the other half have gone and joined up with him. Yeah. It's a weird world. So as soon as we hear anything, then we will pass on our information to you all. But as of yet, we have nine contracts up in the summer. So hopefully Villa do the right thing. They keep the players that we need and that we want. Because ultimately we need depth, don't we? We need that rotation. Now, speaking of looking at us go and our ascent at the end of the season, we're nominated for some awards, aren't we? Because we've been performing. Natalia is up for Manager of the Month, and we've got 2 Player of the Month nominations for Chastity and Kirsty, and we've got 2 nominations for Goal of the Month, which are both from Kirsty, Super Kirsty Hansen. One, of course, from Arsenal, and her goal versus Spurs as well. So how does it feel like we're finally in the nominations? Because I don't think
who do we think we are?
they're all still don't believe it. No. I mean,
it feels deserved.
it
But
is.
it also feels like a nomination means not much when there's like 20,000 more people that will be voting for the obvious ones than who's going to vote for the ones that actually deserve to win.
It was like when Sophia Paul got nominated. We all knew she was never going to win it, even though she was probably one of the most deserving to win it.
Yeah, and it's then comes down to, yes, it's great. It's a fan vote, but it's also not great because the Arsenal fan base is so much bigger than everyone else. So yeah, it's hard, isn't it? You hope that half of it will be like judges vote, and then the other would be like a bit like Eurovision. Some's judges, some's the fan vote.
I think for some reason Chelsea would never win anything because everyone hates them like they do England. It's like nil point for Chelsea. Oh, that'd be so good.
Well, it
Imagine
wasn't the
United
weekend.
win nothing. It would just be the underdogs getting all of the points.
It'd be great. Hey, we'd be first.
I know.
But that's even the thing about Chelsea, by their own standards, they didn't actually have a great month.
No.
No, shocking.
And Sonia's still nominated for Manager of the Month. At least West Ham and Natalia, you can understand, because by their standards, they have had fucking outstanding months.
Yeah.
But Sonia will probably still win it. Undeservedly against the other 2.
with her
Because she's
unconvincing 4-0 win over a 10-man Crystal Palace. Like,
Sophie's
No.
made a good point as well about with the 2 goals for Kirsty being nominated.
Yeah, feels like a way to split the votes. Yeah, because either
Yeah.
you want Kirsty to win or you want Kirsty to win. So it's hard. I mean, yeah, it's just a bit like pick,
it's a
You
very
just need about 7
it's like-
emails.
yeah, just pick one of hers, and then you
You
can
need to
pick
tactical
someone
vote.
else's as well. And then it can be literally fair with the goals that are in.
But even McKirsty having 2 nominations for Goal of the Month, you would think that would boost their chances for Player of the Month. But then they're splitting the fellow for
Yeah.
the down, but Grant.
Yeah, no,
Mm.
it's just very, very bizarre. Very
I do think it's good that we're finally in these like conversations though.
Yes, for a
Yeah.
change.
No, don't forget about us. We're still here.
positive.
We're still hanging on. Yeah, you can imagine other people going, who? Who's Villa? What's good?
Arsenal aren't saying that anymore.
No. I've got a few friends who support Arsenal, and they were just like, please don't keep bringing it up. And I was like, no, I will. This never happens for us. We are going to keep talking about it forever and ever and ever. Just to put it in perspective, other goals up for the nomination. So we've got Kat Macario, Shakira Martinez, Katia Snoyce, Jess. Ooh, they've put Jess Parks.
Ooh.
Oh, no, Jess Parks.
Ineligible.
Just a single. Yeah.
Yeah, ineligible. She can't win it now.
And Viviana C as well. So again, all good. Only 3 Manager of the Month nominations, as we mentioned. So Sonia Bonpastor, Natalia, and Rianne Skinner. I have to say though, loads of people thought Rianne Skinner wouldn't do well at all, and look what she's been able to do. With
She's signed an extension, hasn't she? Or she signed a new contract.
Yeah, literally
Yeah.
just, I think.
Yeah, very well served. Yeah. And again, it's that stability that she's right. West Ham just haven't had at all. And then Player of the Month, we've got, as we said, Chastity and Kirsty. We've also got Shakira Martinez. People say Martinez and then Martinez, so I keep getting a mix up between the two. Michelle Adjiman and Kirsten Kasparai, of course. So yeah, again, any of those would be deserving. Yeah, they did do just to laugh. Chelsea, they put I don't know if anyone saw this. It's a history repeats, and it was last year, 18th of May, 2024. Chelsea win over United 6-0 to win the league. Last night they win 1-0.
No.
Yeah, it's like, is it really repeating?
Yeah, it's like, is that really the same turnaround? Because it definitely wasn't.
Yeah, it's like this time it's the same, but they ordered it from Wish.
Yeah. Here's what they could have had, but here's what they actually received.
Yeah. It was a Team U win yesterday rather than a.
I know, it was a different stadium and everything, I might have still been away, but they were playing at different stadiums, different quality. It is your difference between Amazon and Team U,
On a very different note, back to the football. Villa did put up a little clip of Natalia post-match saying, this is the kind of win we need to make normal, and she is absolutely right. This is what we want to be talking about. This is the team that we want to recognise week in, week out, and hopefully this is the start of something new, as they would say in High School Musical. So, the last thing I want to talk about then is, I really think I wouldn't get a musicals reference in. Come on. Looking
I
ahead.
was waiting for it.
Hey, wait for it. Hamilton. So
How can you group High School Musical and Hamilton?
Disney did them both.
they both have songs. They both are in America.
They're both on Disney Plus.
They're both on Disney Plus. Yeah, I mean, it's also my brain, so it'll be steps next. Don't worry. Now, looking ahead to the weekend was where I was going to go with this one. Quick turnaround, so hopefully we aren't shattered at the weekend. We, of course, are going away to West Ham, 3:00 kickoff on
West Ham?
Sunday.
Okay, cool. Sorry.
What?
Don't worry. My brain heard 3:00. I was like, that's really early, but it's not. It's the afternoon.
Yeah, not 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And I said not the West End, and it just went over everyone's head because you just.
Because of the musicals.
I didn't even hear what you said.
Oh,
But
well,
yeah.
no, I didn't hear that. No, sorry. I would have given you a clap if so.
I've got a standing ovation.
Yes, curtain call is 3:00. And I hope they're waiting in the wings, ready for the performance of a lifetime against West Ham, of course. Now, West Ham in the table. Let's have a look.
We will be standing ovation because standing.
Oh yeah, you're in the standard bit, aren't you? Now, if anyone's watching and they want to spot members of the fan club, they'll be the ones in fancy dress. The fan club started it last year. It was a massive success, so they brought it back for this year. So if you do want to join in, anyone that's watching and listening, fancy dress, the sillier the better. There are medals and prizes for best dressed. So Gary, are you keeping yours a secret? Your fancy dress, even though you've hinted.
A couple of people are aware. So yeah, I'm actually. Nick was close whenever she said priest.
Are you coming as
Well,
Jesus?
No. I like my women, so I'm dressing up as a nun.
I saved some costume to kidnap Martinez.
Fantastic.
Cool.
Emily, Nick, are you going at the weekend?
Right, I'm on
You
my
just know?
third idea now. I've got 3 costumes. I can't.
You
Where
spent
all
most
of
of
them?
yesterday evening sorting it.
It was a monk, then it was a pilot, and now it's Peaky Blinders, and I'm still not sure.
Take one for
They're
Martinez.
very different.
But it's also supposed to be quite cold.
Jacket and a hat.
It's meant to be good. It's meant to be
It's supposed to be 12
boiling this
degrees
weekend,
on
isn't it?
Sunday.
I think
Yeah.
it's
It's boiling for
chilly.
England.
Anything under 20 degrees
It was
for
like
me
28
is
today,
Baltic.
Okay, so we need something. Okay, so maybe a monk then, because a nice cloak will keep you warm. Have you got like the bald hat as well that you're gonna wear?
I'm not a Buddhist monk.
No, but like a friar, like a bald hat.
No. Although, to be fair, enough of my hair's falling out to do that anyway, I think. No.
Okay, so we'll style it perfectly. Done. Yeah, let's do that.
I'm
Emily,
going to
you
be
dressed
Where's
up?
Wally, so you can literally play Spot Me in the Crowd.
Yes. Oh,
Except
that's
if it's
cool.
cold and I'm wearing a coat, then you won't be able to see. I'll just get wet.
You never wear coats.
Yeah, no, I don't know who I'm kidding. It's bad enough that I can't wear my Villa shirt.
She has an entire car full of fleece, but she never puts one on.
That's because I'm going to wear my Villa scarf with it.
20 jackets in that car. She doesn't wear any of them.
Well, she's an adult. She can make her own choices. No, but I really hope that the camera picks up that you are Where's Wally, and you move around during the game. That would be hilarious.
Oh my God, please
You should do that. Move
Please
around
move
during
around.
the game.
And then because I'll be watching it, then I can do a thing like, has anyone spotted her yet? And then we can make like a big thing. Can we? Please keep moving around.
I've never been to that stadium.
We're behind
so I
the
don't
corner
actually know.
flag. So then, but then like really like sternly. So when the camera pans in, she's like,
Maybe.
oh, that'd be hilarious.
I am taking my
please do.
flags as well. So
Amazing. And you can wave them when someone finds you.
She never waves them. takes them and then just struggles to hold them the entire time.
There's 2 of them, and I need I take pictures and videos.
And have a coffee.
And have a coffee. There's just not enough hands.
You'd think at some point she'd stop taking the flags.
No, Gary can have my flags.
Someone has to have the flags. It's
Gary can tuck them into habit.
one on each side. So what we've learned about Emily tonight is that she doesn't like quotes. They're all in her car. She can't hold flags, and she needs more hands.
She'd have gone as an octopus, then you could have held everything.
Perfect. There's still time to get the costume. Yes, so if you do want to join in with the fan club, there will be the silly ones in fancy dress. So go and say hello if you're going away. So realistically then, because we saw what West Ham did to Crystal Palace, Gary, how are you feeling about the weekend? Obviously we're on a high as well. Can we do it?
We can. You know, don't get me wrong, West Ham are in a good rich form themselves, but so are we, and you know, it's just a game where both teams know that they're safe. Both teams are going to go for it, and I guess it really depends how our girls are feeling after their shift against Arsenal. You know, is it a step too far after, like as we're saying, you know, Missy Bo with the packing and the other players that have all came up, where they were all going off and sort of nursing themselves, you know, because they were just shattered from the effort against Arsenal. You know? Yeah. It might be a step too far, but the game's so close together. But ultimately, the girls are still going to be up for it. We'll have a run of form, and you know, we can't beat anybody in our day. You know, we've shown that because we have just beat the team that have qualified for the Champions League final.
Yeah, we have 5-2.
Quite convincingly too.
Very convincing.
4-0, don't you know? I was live tweeting this, of course, and one of them just said, "Whatever happens now, I don't care. We were 4-0 up." At that moment, Emma, what are you thinking about the weekend? How are you feeling? What a noise in response, right? Any words to go with it, or just the cow noise?
That sums it up perfectly. But I'm thinking, I don't want to be too optimistic. That's my problem. A point?
Yeah.
A point? Yes.
We are programmed that way.
3 points? Question mark? Maybe. ...
Yeah, you can tell you're a teacher. Getting your punctuation in. Well done, you. Okay, so think a point. Emily, what about you?
I think it's going to be another high-scoring game. Because I don't think we're going to have Parker back. I don't know about Patsy, but I don't think we've got Parker back. So we might see a
Miri for centre-back
again. Little bit of a makeshift back line again, yeah. Which, I mean, with how much West Ham have been scoring, I can't see us keeping a clean sheet, unfortunately. But we do appear to have found our shooting boots. So.
Yes. So hopefully that back line just stays quite tight. Put 6 at the back. Everyone else can just run at the goal. Ebony and Chas just the whole way through. Just you two go. We'll stay here.
But there's no point in having a clean sheet. We haven't had one all season, so you know why about now.
Why start now? Start now, indeed. Yeah, Nick, how are you feeling?
I think it could go drastically in either direction, because I think where we stand at the minute, both of us are going to feel invincible.
Yeah.
Both of us have somehow learned the art of counter-attack. And at the minute, we've both got a very similar gameplay. So I think we've both got to figure out a different tactic.
Okay.
Or it could be like a steady 0-0, because it literally, I don't know.
Yeah,
it could literally.
Yeah, it could be like a stalemate. We're both trying to do the same things.
Because we're both playing the counter attack, which doesn't work if no one's attacking.
No, you go first. No, you, Joe.
West Ham are very good at not conceding at the moment. I don't know. I literally we're both gonna walk out like big bollocks, and then I just.
The trouble is, like a few weeks ago, when we had like 4 or 5 games left, I was convinced we were going to lose them all, and now we've won 3. I'm like, the little kernel of hope has raised its head again. I don't want us to lose.
I think the kernel of hope is there, but also in our hearts, we've had a season of disappointment, and even though it's going beautifully, even though we're at our best, we're still like, is this real?
Yeah,
we're waiting for the penny to drop, aren't we?
Own goals and all sorts of stuff like now. Are we gonna is Sab's gonna get a red card and then Sarah Mayling's gonna score an own goal? Like, these things happen. Like, is this just gonna?
Yeah, I think even if it doesn't go well, we can, like, the team, and we can still be super proud of the last few weeks and how they've turned it around. I hope even if it doesn't go well that they won't suddenly like lose that sort of positive belief. I don't think they will, because we don't have the threat of going down now.
As long as we come out and give it a go, we can't just sit back. We can't just sit back. We've got to actually give it a go.
Yeah, as long as they keep trying and being the Villa that they've shown the last couple of I was going to say seasons, no, matches. Then what else can we ask for them?
It's going to be like the game from the 90s, whenever Newcastle and Liverpool, every time they played each other, the scoreline was always 4-3 in somebody's direction. It's going to be a game like that. Both teams are just going to go for it. It's going to be 4-3, and they're going to work hard in blue.
It's going to be... But which slightly different version of claret and blue. But yeah, it's going to be. I hope it's a proper ding dong, because then it'll keep it entertaining. Because I don't think we can deal with a 0-0 right to the last minute, just in case something happens.
Can you imagine how sad it will look on cameras if we get hammered and we're all there just in sad fancy dress? Like, there's just like nuns and Where's Wally's and hot dogs and things, just like behind the goal, like.
Yeah, because last year it worked, didn't it? Because we played Brighton and won.
Yeah, and it was like jolly, and like Annalite's mum was dressed as a Budweiser bottle, and everyone was like, "Yay!" And like, can you just like how you can't have sad fancy dress? That's
especially if it's raining.
Yeah, just like this. I don't know.
As the face paint runs off.
I think it will be a different kind of chaos then.
Yes.
Sad.
Yes, it will.
Sad, foggy. No. We have to win, otherwise we just look silly.
Have to. You'll just have to make your own party. Whatever happens, start singing silly songs, and just going for it. If it
that's the fan coach anyway.
That was a good point. That was a very good point. Yeah, I think it'll be. I mean, it's always a cracking day away, isn't it? I quite prefer away games in some sense.
Yeah, the last couple have been really good. Liverpool and Spurs. I know we won, but like during the game, they were. I don't know. The atmosphere was really good.
Yeah. Next season, I'll be back. Next season.
Are you going on Tuesday? Does the season ticket holder thing?
No, I don't have a season ticket.
Sorry,
I'm not going either.
I've got a membership. Not a full season ticket, because I knew I wouldn't be able to come to games this half of the season. So unfortunately not. But Tuesday will be incredibly exciting, of course, and I expect lots of pictures. And
the rest of the photography going lots of pictures.
Technically, I'm still working on Tuesday, but my boss is trying to sort out the shifts for me to maybe give me it off.
Ooh, well, hopefully you do get it off, Gary.
I can't have it off.
Because then it's just a nice celebration.
Well, yes, because you're responsible now. The other day for him to get home, you better get the day off.
Yeah.
That should be nice to him.
I know. He is good to me, to be fair. Well, I was listening. I know he keeps me on the phone, but he phones me all the time. You know, he likes to keep you company whenever you're doing long drives.
Love his
He is actually a pretty good boss, so I know that he's trying to change himself, but I also know what works in front of me as well, and I don't see where he's moving it to. So I'm sort of right on the tightrope right now.
What did you say about photographers a minute ago?
She said she wants loads of pictures, and I was like, well, the resident photographer's going, so you will.
Yeah.
Because every time my phone vibrates, it's you sending a picture.
No. Keep it for after 9 o'clock.
I'll do your a pan of the training ground.
Yes, please do. I'm just going to ignore Gary now.
Same pan you do at Villa Park every time.
Yeah, let's see if we can put a new one up.
Yeah. Same stadium.
You know what?
Different. It's an empty stadium.
I appreciate you.
Video.
Everyone else use the story. So there we go. And the weather's different each time, so you need a new one. Like, come on.
Different soundtrack.
Different soundtrack? Yeah, I'm with you.
If I speak, she's got to start again.
That's true. I did have to do 2 takes.
It is just quite funny when you hear your voice in the background and you're like, oh, what's Nick up to now?
Everything is relevant, always.
Of course. Well, it's the raw emotion of the moment coming from you, Nick, so it's all good. Okay, so do we think then? Well, it could go either way, but realistically, in fact, who knows?
The thing is, realistically, we struggle against Crystal Palace and then beat Arsenal. Like this is who we are. We score for Chelsea.
The Villa
the last time we played West Ham, it was a struggle.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
We struggled.
Did we?
Yes.
It was a draw, wasn't it?
Kensandre scored.
I thought was it not West, or was it Crystal Palace?
It was when the sky went pink.
No, that was Crystal Palace, wasn't
That was
it?
West Ham.
Crystal Palace was a lovely pink sky. I dare say that.
Oh, it was raining. at
But yeah,
Crystal
okay. So we can
always
possibly
rains.
do it,
We're in England.
but whether we do or not is a completely different matter. Completely different matter indeed. So hey, watch this space. Watch this space indeed. Right. Has anyone got any final thoughts before we leave and go to bed for the evening?
Christ be with you, my child.
Oh, you're totally going to be a pope, aren't you?
Well, we do need a
huge
new
hat.
one. What do you mean with huge hat? You're
need a new
looking
one.
at the wrong
Exactly.
pope if you're looking at one wearing a huge hat. That's not the same people in cloaks.
I have no idea what's happening in this conversation.
None. Emily seems to get it. I'm just like, sorry, what?
I'm just laughing at the general situation.
I neither heard nor understood.
I've just remembered there's
We
washing
started
outside.
talking about Aston Villa. We've ended up talking about who knows what. Right. So overall, in conclusion, we won 5-2 against Arsenal, first time ever at home, and hopefully we can do the same away to. I was going to say Crystal Palace there. No, West Ham, the other claret and blue
Fake
team
ones.
in the WSL. Fake ones. So yeah, we'll keep a day. We'll be back next Thursday at 8 o'clock. And we can do it. Of course we can. So thank you everyone for watching, listening, etc. We will be back next Thursday. And remember to like, follow, share, subscribe. Anything that you can do to help us grow our channel. We're over 80 subscribers now. Did you know?
Yay.
So we are growing well. So yeah, so thank you very much everyone. Good evening.